Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rachel Helt. I'm the Executive Director for Family Partners of Morris and Sussex Counties. Today, we're hosting our Lunch and Learn. It's April 10th, 2025, and we have Care Plus New Jersey with us. We have Galit Raviv, who's going to go over the services provided by Care Plus and also the craft model. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Galit. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being with
Thank you
us.
very much. So, hi, my name is Galit, and I'm a family coordinator at Care Plus for the Family Support Services. The Family Support Center is a state program for family members that have a loved one who is struggling with substance use or is in recovery. Um, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Care Plus. I'm going to talk about the family support services, and then I'm going to go just a little bit deeper into the craft model. So since 1978, Care Plus has served the greater northern New Jersey communities. It's focused on mental health and addiction services. So CPNJ was granted with the grant on 2017. And since then, the family support services provided by Care Plus have been giving services to 7 northern counties: Bergen, Essex, Hudson, Morris, Sussex, Passaic, and Warren. So our meta goals for the family support services is to increase access to services for substance use disorder, to reduce overdoses. We also give Narcan kits, and we educate our clients on that issue as well. We provide resources, including emergency procedures and protocols like children mobiles, mobile and psychiatric screening programs. And we also work with our clients to identify potential domestic violence situations, and educate them how to operate in case of any danger to themselves. So um, since the Family Support Services is a grant-funded program, it's free of charge. So there's no charge for our services. The requirements are that they live in the county, in one of the 7 northern counties that we provide services, that their loved one is using or in recovery, that the client is an adult, that the loved one is older than 13, and we see a lot of young adults and adolescents, and that they're in communication, because our whole work is based on improving their relationship and allowing for more influence through positive communication. So it's very important. If they're not in communication, we have no way to help them. So we offer individualized peer support. We're peers. We're not therapists. And we do supportive counseling, psychoeducation on the craft model, and other models. We give resources, and we generally help families to navigate the treatment system, which we all know that is very complicated and stressful. We typically meet our clients once a week, or if they're in a better situation, on a bi-weekly basis, either in the community or over the phone. To be honest, mostly are over the phone. It works great. We're now recruiting a Spanish-speaking coordinator, so hopefully we'll be, even more accessible to this population. But again, we service everybody in the northern counties. So it started with opioids and stimulants, but then it grew to alcohol And today everything goes in. It's marijuana, it's kratom, it's all the drugs, and there's no limitation on that side. So we also offer our clients a support group. It's, coincidentally, I'm the facilitator of the group, so it meets every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We have, really great regular clients that participate in this group. They support each other, and we do role plays, we do all kinds of self-reflections, and it all serves to reinforce the use of the craft skills. So we have individual and group-based services. So I want to talk a little bit about the craft model. It was developed by Robert Meyers in the late 70s. It was based on a previous model, but he adapted it for families of individuals with substance use disorder, focusing on empowering the families to support recovery. We'll talk about that a little more. So the craft model the craft stands for community reinforcement approach and family training, and it promotes active, positive participation of the families. But I also talk to friends. Sometimes I talk to, like close people, can be a neighbor, can be anyone that has communication and influence on the person dealing with addiction. Utilizing a motivational, non-confrontational approach, using reinforcement methods to enhance positive, healthy behaviors and decrease the substance use, hopefully motivating the person to go to treatment. And the families learn about their own behaviors that may unintentionally be enabling the use and promoting substance use, replacing those behaviors with new positive ways to communicate and solve problems. I don't have anyone to ask if you have questions, do you?
I do have a
Yeah.
question. So you meet the
Okay.
clients in the community, and are you doing in-home visits with them, or
So
Be-
we're not doing in-home, and we're never in communication with the loved one themselves.
okay,
We even ask our clients to be in a quiet place. We call them IP, cannot be around the client. The client needs to, be completely open, honest, in the right zone. So we will meet them in the community. We're located in Paramos, and we have the mall, and we can meet them, in a cafe or anything. But basically, since the area is very big, some of them just live too far, and we talk over the phone.
okay. And do you work on hybrid too? Do you Zoom conference with them as well?
So
if they request that?
yeah, so we can do telehealth. Sometimes we work with a few family members all at once if it's okay, if it's working. Sometimes we will talk half an hour with one and half an hour with the other until we get them to cooperate. But the group meets on Zoom. The
Okay.
group meets on Zoom.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. And even after they finish the individualized services, after a year, we need to end our services. Of course, sometimes we give another month or two. They can still come to group as much as they want. And some of them do. I have a client, he's coming to group for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he just likes to come, and he really supports others. His loved one is sober for years,
Nice.
and so it works great.
So what is the typical timeline that you'd work with a client from the time that they come to you?
So it's really it depends on what's happening, on the severity of the situation. I think that adolescents that come with marijuana,
Mm.
you know, so typically, because once we teach the skills, once they learn how to positively reinforce, how to allow consequences, how to set boundaries and follow through, they have the skills. They don't need me anymore. Sometimes they still need to vent, they still need the empathy, the listening ear. So I'll be there for them as much as they need.
Mm.
But if the person is sober, is doing good, they have the skills, then they can fly on their own.
Nice. That's good.
Okay, feel free because I might be forgetting stuff on my first presentation for Care Plus.
Okay.
So why is family involvement such a big piece? I guess, that the people who are listening to this presentation know that family is the closest people. They're the environment. So they have, I wouldn't say control over the person, but control of what's the person's environment. So the family can change its own behaviors that might be enabling. Family members are, critical collaborators in the process. And also sometimes families have problems, and sometimes the loved one blames them, for part of the problem, and they're sometimes thought as the source of the problem.
Mm.
And sometimes they are. So we definitely want to help and also support because families deal with financial issues, with relationship problems inside the family because of this, challenge and whatever they're enduring, lack of support, isolation, and even violent situations. So they definitely need the support. So the craft goals. So most loved move loved one to treatment. Sometimes they're in complete denial. We just need to go to the acknowledgement stage. From the acknowledgement, it's the cycle of change. From the acknowledgement to be willing to hear about treatment options, it's such a process, and it's hard because sometimes they're stuck in very early stages, but sometimes it's on and off, or they need to move to the next step. The second goal is to reduce, even just the reduction of alcohol use or drug use is a goal, is completely valid goal. We want to also expose them to recovery resources because families are sometimes just clueless about this. They have no experience. They don't even know which substance is being used. And the most important goal, it looks like 1, 2, 3, but I would give it at least 50%, is to improve their own self-care, to improve their well-being. It's so important, to recharge their batteries, to vent, to have the empathy so they can continue and support their loved ones and take care of themselves because like Phil, my client in the group for 4 years, he always says, you allowed to be happy, you allowed to have your own joyful time. And it's so important to remember that because mostly parents, they would say, I'll be happy when my child is happy. And it's very hard to educate them on the importance of that too. So this is already going into craft. The roadblocks for motivation to change is the loved one feeling misunderstood, being judged, influenced, aggressively, being pushed, forced. So sometimes the motivation is extrinsic instead of intrinsic, so it won't hold for the time needed to get sober. Having limited options, that the reasons don't make sense to them, lack of self-confidence, which I really work on with my clients, how to empower their loved ones, how to allow them to contribute, to feel self-worth, because they don't fight for themselves because they don't think they're worth it. So it's very important for the family to still see their loved one as a whole, as a person, not just as an addicted or sick or dealing with mental health, labeling them and coloring their whole personality with that. And it's hard. It's only human because they're dealing with hard stuff. So again, our loved ones are somewhat used to being talked down to, and being confronted. So these are roadblocks, and we want um, to bridge them. So we want to help with understanding. And again, there are different resources out there. Some talk about detachment with love, intervention, which is, boom, you need to come with us. So the craft is a little bit different. We want families to stay actively engaged. We don't want them to detach. And just by the way, I will never tell a client to do something if they don't feel comfortable doing. It's their process, it's their life, and they're the ones suffering consequences. So I'm here for them, and I'll go with them, on their own pace. So the craft looks like help with understanding. So where does the problem come from? What are the triggers? What contributes to the person being in that place? How it affects other people, and just understanding how this process is going to look like. We talked about self-care, so we talk about stress, we talk about recreational time, we talk about their emotional state. We always do a PHQ-2. Once in 3 months we do PHQ-9. We have a plan of care. We talk to them about their goals to our meetings. Some of them would say, yeah, we want our child to reduce substance use. Some of them will say, I want them to be able to continue to college, to improve their life. So it can really go from the most specific goals to bigger goals. We're there for them. So again, back to self-care, getting the support, improve their emotional well-being, and shame and guilt. That's something we definitely discuss. Positive communication. So we talk about empathetic listening. Sometimes we need to change their interpretation of the situation just for them to feel empathy, change their point of view in order to allow them to react differently. Validation and empathy, active listening, open questions. These are all things that we talk about. We have the information sandwich. We try to educate them on how to approach their loved ones with respect, ask them, when can we talk? And then share their own feelings, ask questions, listen, get to know the personality, the needs, and the views of their loved one. And the fourth part is helping with actions, changing family environment, positive reinforcement. So whenever their loved one is making a healthy decision and participating in sober activities or doing something positive for themselves, we want to positively reinforce it and even reward it. And sometimes the reward will be material, sometimes it will be just, time we spend together and compliments and reinforcement. But then when there's an unhealthy decision or behavior, we'll coach our clients to disengage and to withdraw the rewards and allow natural consequences. So unfortunately, a lot of our clients are enabling. They have enabling behaviors that they're not aware of. They think they help. They think they support. They shelter their loved ones from feeling the natural consequences of their substance use, and this doesn't help. And it's also a big, big boundary issue that we really talk about. So again, this is about active non-confrontational engagement, meeting families where they're at, and them meeting their loved ones where they're at. Focus on what they control and what they can't control. This is very important. They think they can fix things, and that's a process to accept that this is a disease. It usually co-occurs with mental health, and it's a family disease, and it's hard for families to accept that. So that's a process that we go through as well. I think that this is my last uh, forgot the word on the
Slide.
presentation, but this is the information. We actually see a little decline in our clients, and this is why we reached out. We're looking to have more referrals. We think that this service, free of charge, this kind of support really empowers families to support their loved ones. You can get in touch with Jenna on the phone or email with referrals, or just, allow people to get the information. I think that's it, because it's very important for us that this grant will continue. We do have a quota that a quota of clients that we need to reach. So that's really important. Anyone that has questions or wants more information or wants to present this to other, to other people, we would love to do that. Any questions?
I
I'll
think you
stop the
answered,
share.
I think you answered all of my questions. But
Yeah.
thank you so much, because I was aware of the program, but I didn't realize how cumbersome it was. So it's really
Mhm.
family focused, family centered, which is amazing. And I can say that as a mother of two young adults who are in recovery. So,
Right.
had we had
And
that
we're
service,
we're very, first of all, we're peers. And peer is a different. We can sympathize, we can tell stories, we share success stories. Part of our job is to inspire and to inspire hope and build hope and provide a sense of optimism. Everything that we teach, we also model. So we listen, we ask open questions, we positively reinforce our clients' decisions. So we really try to walk the talk and to do the modeling for them. So I think that regardless of their loved one going to treatment and reducing their substance use, the families definitely benefit from our services on a personal level. It changes the way they communicate with other people. It improves their other relationships. So it's definitely a benefit.
I think it's
And we
amazing.
do have success with their loved ones too. We do have sober people. So that's really, really great.
I think
Very
that's awesome.
rewarding.
Yes, definitely. Well, I want to
Thank you
thank
very
you
much.
for presenting today. It was wonderful.
Elizabeth, do you have questions? No, I guess not.
No, I'm good. I appreciate all the information.
Thank you very much. Thank
Great.
you. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much.
being here. Thank you
And with
very
that,
much.
I will definitely share the information. Like I had said before, it'll be listed on our Family Partners YouTube channel, and it will go out into circulation in our email correspondence
Great.
to all of our email list. So hopefully we spread the word, and I can also share with other organizations as well directly. So hopefully get
Yeah.
more word out there. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. It was great to meet you.
Thank
And
you very much.
hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.